Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for December 16th, going into the 17th. Start off with natural gas. Okay, we continue to come off today. Did not really see much range expansion intraday, but we did, including Globex overnight. Been bearish in here overall from $8.20.8. And then more recently, I warned in the podcast, post-market podcast on December 5th that this went out warning of pressure from the 528.90 close, and we have come down to 384.20 with additional areas they called to be short below from 501.40, 496.60, 490.30, 458.50, and 399.50. We broke below this line here, which I warned of pressure. Decent trade back above where that line comes in at 398.80. Minus 0.4 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll warrant a decent strength. Maintain gap higher will leave a minor bullish reversal below. Okay, and the crude oil continue to come off. Maintain gap higher in there. We'll leave a minor bullish reversal below. And here we've been bearish overall from 119.15. And more recently, failure below 75.44 to 50 has brought in pressure down to 54.98 with additional areas to be short below at 64.51, 63.66, 59.98, 58.83. And then I said the failure below, 57.75. And then the trade below 56.59 now projects us downward $5.50 minimum, $27 plus maximum from 56.59. And we have traded down to 54.98. Decent trade back above this line. I want a decent short cover, and that's going to come in at 55.40. Minus 0.5 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Decent trade above this formation right here will warrant a more significant short covering. That's going to come in at 56.60 to 56.61 through tomorrow. Like I said, I maintain gap higher. We'll leave a minor bullish reversal below, but that'll be more effective once we take out 56.40 in the process. In the RBOB, or unleaded gasoline, we continue to see lower trade. We've been bearish overall in here from $432.60. And more recently, we held exhaustion above at 195 with a 195.17 high, and we've rolled over down to 167.95 with additional areas to be short below at 189.98. 175.63, which I said projects us downward 21 cents minimum, 36 cents plus maximum from 175.63, and we've traded down to 167.95 so far. Decent trade back above where that line, actually decent trade with this formation will warrant a decent strength. That's going to come in at 174.38. Minus 5 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd like to see a rejection off of that before getting long above it at this point. But if we further see a break above this formation, which is going to come in at 175.75 to 175.80 through tomorrow, that'll warrant a more significant strength. I would note we may also be in the last stretch of this move down with possible exhaustion down here at 162.44, 159.70 to contend with, although I'm not very strong on that. The heating oil, we continue to see lower trade, maintain gap higher tomorrow. We'll leave a minor bullish reversal below. Bearish overall in here from the trade below 422.11. And more recently, the trade below 247.35 projects this downward 16.5 cents plus. We detained 32.15 of that coming into today, and even more than that down to 212.19. We also had additional areas to be short below at 230.96, which I said projects us downward 4 cents minimum, 15 point. We detained 15.76, 15.76 coming into today, and another piece of that today as well. We also had a level to be short below at 234.12, 233.28. We also may be in the last stretch of the move down from the highs. I would be aware of possible exhaustion down here at 209.69 to 209.02. I'm not really strong on that. The Brent continued to come off and maintain gap higher. We'll leave a minor bullish reversal below, and that'll be more effective once we take out 60.13. But overall bearish in here. Sorry about that. Turn my phone off. We had overall bearish in here from 122.50. We'd seen $64.10 to the downside in there, and we've traded into 58.72 in this contract. A lot of other bearish calls in here I won't go over. More recently, the trade below 75.85 and brought in pressure. We had additional calls to be short below 71.84. We held exhaustion on a pullback at 69.87, rolled over, short below 67.64, 67.24, and more recently below 64.37, 63.37. And I said the trade below 61.58 projects this downward, $1.30 minimum, $5 plus maximum. So from 61.58, we've seen trade down to 59.71. Decent trade back above that line will warrant a decent strength. That's going to come in at 61.73 plus 0.5 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The gas oil continued to come off, maintain gap higher in there tomorrow. We'll leave a minor bullish reversal below. Bullish overall in here from the trade below 1,215.5. Should brought in 651 coming into today. A lot of other bearish calls in here as well. More recently, we held exhaustion above at 805 with an 805 high. Then it rolled down to 605 with additional areas to be short below at 769.75, 735.50. $663.25. Decent trade above this formation right here. We're warned of short covering, decent short covering. That's going to come in at 613.50. Minus 25 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a further break above this formation above here, which is going to come in at 620.55. Minus 35 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. That'll warn of additional strength. By the way, I went over the January crude oil before I'm rolling into February tomorrow. And the cadence going into tomorrow is the heating oil is the weakest of the three, the RBOB in the middle, and the crude the strongest of the three relative to one another. Okay, I hope you all have a good evening, and I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.